Welcome to Dateline SAU, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Charles Hart.
And I'm Katie Link. The second oldest building on campus is getting an $8 million renovation. Work on the 105-year-old LeClaire Hall begins this spring. The old gymnasium and surrounding area will transform into 5 modern classrooms and more than 20 offices. It will initially house the St. Ambrose School of Social Work, the Institute for Person-Centered Care, and the Master of Public Health program. The effort follows a significant donation from 1967 St. Ambrose graduate Tom Higgins. At a recent groundbreaking ceremony, it was announced that the updated facility will be named Higgins Hall of Innovation and Human-Centered Design. Work is expected to be completed by fall 2023.
SAU Dance Marathon's big event is several months away, and the organization is taking advantage of early fundraising opportunities. Events held this week have included a kickball tournament followed by a big push day.
I think the best thing is seeing all the students get really into it. When you have an event that's really successful and people come together and you have people from all different majors, all different backgrounds, all in one space having a great time, it's really amazing. That's kind of one of my favorite things about the big event in the spring is just all these people doing one thing together.
The Big Push Day included events from 7:30 in the morning until a big reveal of the day's earnings just after midnight. Dance Marathon ended up raising over $31,000 for their first push week of the year. The big event will be held on April 23rd.
Groups across campus have teamed up to restore the courtyard in the center of Hayes Hall to its former glory, or maybe make it even better than it was before. Student Club Green Life, the Engineering Department, Student Government, and St. Ambrose Physical Plant have been making improvements to the courtyard since April 2021.
We've worked with Green Life and made a bee home in the Hayes Courtyard, and so hopefully we'll get some bees in there soon. And then we've also cleaned the courtyard, the Hayes Courtyard, for probably 100 combined hours between all the different people that have participated.
This is appealing to people who come in. So we get a lot of visitors to visit the engineering department. We don't want them to walk in and see it in that state. Plus, it's a pride, right? It's a matter of pride.
Other improvements include landscaping, a ramp, and a compost bin. Future plans include a large mural on walls, a pergola for shade, and a whiteboard area to allow for outdoor classes.
Preparations are underway for the St. Ambrose Theatre Department's next main stage play. The play She Kills Monsters by Qui Gwen is the first main stage production of the season. She Kills Monsters is a dramatic comedy that takes place around the fanciful world of Dungeons & Dragons and features familiar characters from the game.
Interesting and cool creatures. There is a major mass campaign going on right now in the scene shop that really kind of shows the imagination of some of our puppet creators. We have a 6-foot beach ball in the scene shop right now that's being cut up for some kind of creature in there, and they're planning on having a 5-headed dragon, which is a part of the show, and all kinds of creatures that really I think, especially people who play Dungeons and Dragons, should recognize and be, I'm hoping, very excited about.
The production includes several technical elements. She Kills Monsters opens Friday, November 12th and runs for 2 weekends.
This Halloween, 2 St. Ambrose podcasters are teaming up to bring the campus community a spooky special. Campus Encounters host Jamie Hennekins and Morbid Midwest host Brooke Hass are releasing a special crossover episode next Friday.
Our Halloween special, we were hoping to kind of talk about the more spooky aspects of Ambrose. So we're going to talk to a couple of RAs that have had some spooky experiences, some students, and all kinds of great Halloween things.
You can find the episode everywhere you listen to podcasts on October 29th. Just search for the Morbid Midwest wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find the episode on KALA's SoundCloud account.
Managers and educators from across the country came to St. Ambrose University last week to exchange ideas to address the challenges facing business and society. They were here for the 64th Annual Midwest Academy of Management Conference. It featured presentations and workshops over 3 days, It also provided St. Ambrose faculty and students the opportunity to be featured participants and contributors in topics such as social justice, mentorship, labor relations, and the challenges of teaching.
Scholars from a number of institutions around here come here to present their cutting-edge research, and it is a place where scholars come together to exchange ideas, present their work, and then socialize doctoral students, undergraduate students even, to come here and share the insights and their ideas and the research that they have produced.
Next year's Midwest Academy of Management Conference will be by the University of Michigan College of Business in Detroit.
The St. Ambrose Archives is participating in an archives fair at the end of this month in collaboration with other local collectors. The archives, located on the 3rd floor of the library, offer preserved historical documents such as yearbooks, newspapers, photographs, and anything the university has ever published.
Some of the information here is just fun and interesting. If you want to find a photo of a coach, you can come in and do that. You want to see pictures of your parents because they went to school here, I've got yearbooks, so it can be fun projects too.
The archives are open to all students, preferably by appointment through the archivist, Annika Marquez. The Archives Fair is set for October 30th at the Butterworth Center in Moline, Illinois.
Coming up after a short break.
The Fighting Bee football team finds redemption after suffering a tough loss.
And the men's soccer team heads into a double overtime contest in dramatic fashion against a ranked team.
We'll have these stories and more coming up after the break.
On Dateline SAU.
Post-graduation, I've served on the alumni board and have really enjoyed that role, staying in touch with St. Ambrose and all the things that are happening and getting to see students and hear about what we're doing for students, new buildings. It's just nice to stay in touch with the place that you lived for 4 years and loved while you're here.
The Fighting Bees football team experienced a few roller coaster weekends, first falling to the Judson University Eagles in overtime on October 9th. A tipped pass for a 2-point conversion for the Eagles sent the game to overtime in Carpentersville. On Judson's first possession, they were able to roll down the field for an extra time touchdown. The Bees stormed back downfield but were unable to capitalize on a 4th down pass in the end zone that was knocked away by the Eagles. The following week, the Bees traveled to number 12 Olivet Nazarene in Bourbonnais for another competitive game. This time, the Bees came up big, knocking off the Tigers 17-10. Tom Casey tallied a touchdown run, Tom Gillen booted the football through the uprights 3 times, and the Bees' defense forced 2 major turnovers, one of them at a crucial point in the 4th quarter. St. Ambrose will next play host to the University of St. Francis on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Brady Street Stadium. The Fighting Bees men's soccer team lost a thrilling, hard-fought, and chippy battle against Cardinal Stritch University when they took the Bees to double overtime on Wednesday night. The Bees came out hot in the first half, recording a goal in the 22nd minute from Rory Hannon and a big save in the 33rd minute from Miguel Bema. Later in the second half, things would start to get a little hairy as both teams conjured up a total of 20 fouls between them. However, as the 84th minute came about, Joseph Gaither airmailed this corner kick to Jacob Mulville to put the Bees up 2-1 with just 6 minutes remaining. The Wolves would answer just 2 minutes later to send the game to extra time, and then scored again early in the second overtime to close out the game. It was a defensively heavy game for the Bees, but they wouldn't go down quietly. Miguel Bema is credited with 3 saves, and 2 other Bees would record 3 shots on goal. St. Ambrose will be back at home this Saturday as they host Trinity International for Senior Day at 5 p.m. The women's soccer team also hosted the Cardinal Stritch Wolves on Wednesday night. The women put on an impressive defensive show after allowing a goal early on in the 3rd minute of the game. This save from Rachel Willett helped her get on a roll, making 4 more saves over her 110 minutes in the goal, including another important save in the 2nd overtime period. The Bees lit up their opponent's goal with shots from Caitlin Brunson, like this one from deep, and this cross, followed by another attempt from Taylor to Splinter. The Bees would keep shooting, putting 9 of 14 on goal. A last-minute goal in the 88th minute of regulation time from Morgan Wallen tied the game, and the Bees and the Wolves duked it out over both overtime periods. Each emerged goalless, bringing about the 1-1 conclusion and moving the Bees to 10-5-1 overall. The Bees will next be in action Tuesday as they travel to Governor's State to take on the Jaguars. After battling Olivet Nazarene toe-to-toe for the first 2 sets, the St. Ambrose women's volleyball team ran out of steam and dropped a 3-1 decision to the Tigers Tuesday at Lee Lohman Arena. The Bees are now 14-10 on the season and dropped to 6-7 in the CCAC. The men's golf team finished 2nd in the CCAC Cup earlier this week. Dylan McAleer and Mick Haverland finished in the top 5 as the Bees ended up just 2 strokes behind the tournament champion, Roosevelt. The CCAC Cup wraps up the fall season for the Bees. They'll pick up the back 9 in the spring. That's it for sports this week. I'm Cameron Giampaolo.
And that's all we have for you on this edition of Dateline SAU.
We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, late-breaking news, and more.
You can also find news stories and videos on The Hive at sauthebuzz.com.
As Halloween quickly approaches, we thought we'd see what Halloween movies are the most popular on the SAU campus.
Dateline SAU Jamie Hennekins asked students to tell us their favorite Halloween movie. We leave you with their responses.
Thanks for watching.
My favorite Halloween movie is Nightmare Before Christmas because I love the claymation of it and the soundtrack.
My favorite Halloween movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's super cheesy, I know, but the reason why is because I used to, that was my favorite movie as a kid. I looked forward to watching it every single year.
My favorite Halloween movie is Corpse Bride because it's spooky but also goofy, and I like that it's animated.
Freddy vs. Jason because it's a thriller and it really gets your heart going.
Is The Addams Family because that's the movie that I watch every year with the kids I babysit.
Favorite Halloween movie of mine, you're not gonna believe it, it's Halloween Town. You ever heard of Halloween Town?
I have.
Yeah. I can't tell you why other than the fact that it's nostalgic.
I like Halloween Town just because it always was on Disney Channel when I was growing up. Yeah, that's it.
And my favorite's Hocus Pocus just because it's something my family's always watched together.
I guess the Goonies because I can do the truffle shuffle. So, and that's not a good thing.